What is up, everybody, and welcome to this GameXplain discussion. Today, we are talking about our impressions of the PlayStation Portal. Adam and I were both able to pick one up. We've been remote playing from our PS5s for a few days now, so we are going to talk about it. The first few things we got to get out of the way immediately. The PlayStation Portal. Handheld PS5 gaming device. You cannot play anything native on this. This is a streaming device only. You have to be connected to PlayStation 5 hardware. Just want to get that out of the way right up front. That's what this device is. And Adam, how have you been enjoying the PlayStation Portal?
I've been loving it, actually.
Great.
And the main reason is I've been sick the past week. So I've been in bed, and I couldn't have picked a better device to come out. I mean, just before I got sick, I drove 3 hours out of my way to go pick this up. Because for the past, 6 months, I've been streaming my PS5 to my Steam Deck. There's a program you can download called Chiaki. And I've just become a believer of streaming. So, but the thing is with the deck is that I had plenty of issues with streaming to the deck, mostly because of the aspect ratio, and you had the black bars, and also I don't really like the buttons on the deck as much. And then of course Sony were like, well, we're just going to give you a DualSense with a screen in between it. And I couldn't have been happier, because to be honest, Sony just know how to make hardware. And yeah, this is it's a niche device. Look, if you're looking to, turn this into the PSP 3, it's not the PSP, even though some people do want to call it the PSP. It's not the PSP. So you can only stream to it, which obviously makes it extremely niche. But for what it does, I think it does it really well.
Yeah, so I think Portal is a cool name, PlayStation Portal. I actually think that's dope. But yeah, I think the big kind of discussion topic for people has been the kind of, I've obviously watched a lot of reviews, and it is like the who is this for? It's, not a dedicated handheld system. Why aren't you just playing on your TV? And I think we could go through the motions. We could be like every other review and say, okay, well, somebody's using the TV. You can use this in bed, whatever it is. I'm not trying to tell people what their money is worth, and and if it's worth it for you. You know what this device is. And I think it's at this point, and I think it's our job to tell you how good it is, and does it work? Is it better than using remote play on your phone? Is it better than using remote play on your Steam Deck? Why would you choose it over those other options? And I think the first thing I want to get out of the way is, if you're not somebody that uses remote play, maybe you don't want this at all. If you're not already using remote play, if that's not something you're already interested in, then my first recommendation to you is going to be to get that PlayStation app, download it, try remote play just on your phone, just to see how it works. Just to, you know what I mean? Because I am somebody that remote plays frequently. I like it on my Steam Deck. And what I was looking for with this device was I wanted it to be seamless. I wanted to turn it on, press connect, and play the games. I didn't want to mess around with my controls, my settings, whatever. I just wanted it to be boom, I pick it up and I'm in the game really quickly. And that to me is the second biggest advantage of this, is that it is that easy. It feels like a PlayStation 5 experience. It doesn't feel like this is a phone that they just made into a Portal. Like, the software experience is really clean. The number one advantage of this, you alluded to it earlier, the controls. This feels nice. Like shockingly nice. And I think one of the advantages of something like this is that it is so hardware light. There's nothing in it. The weight is a really nice weight for a controller. It's like unbelievably light for what it is. Most of the weight you're gonna find is in the sides. The actual device itself is like barely there. You know what I mean? It's just like a screen. So when you're playing the games, it's this funny thing where, Adam, I've like reviewed these Nintendo Switch grips, and I always put them through the Smash Brothers test. I go, does it feel as good as when I'm like playing Smash Brothers on a Pro controller? Because that's why I never play Smash handheld. I'm not gonna be Joy-Con. Are you kidding? Yeah. And this device, I play anything I would play normally on and it feels the same. It like not the same like, oh okay, like I know I'm still, no, it literally feels the same. So I'm out here playing Nick Brawl, having the time of my life, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like I am missing anything by playing it here. Would you agree with these sentiments?
Yeah, I think that is a point that I wanted to hit on, is that, again, I play a lot of competitive games, and when it came to playing like something like Rocket League on the Switch, you're using the little mini Joy-Cons, and you kind of have to. I use the claw method either way, but you have to use the claw method to get everything going, because the analog sticks are too small, the buttons are too small. But when you just pick this up and you're playing it, I was playing Modern Warfare 3. Now, sometimes when my connection wasn't amazing, I couldn't play it. And at the best of times, I was still getting kills, but obviously there is still that latency involved. But I could still shoot, I could still aim, I could still dive, I could run around corners, I could shoot people, and it feels like it's the best feeling handheld. Like, the form factor, it's the best feeling handheld I've ever played. I mean, before that, I don't even think anything comes close, because the Switch, the controllers are too small, and the analog sticks are awful for, say, shooters or whatever. Pretty much anything that requires any precision, the analog sticks are just awful. And then the Steam Deck, I think, is... I understand this is a streaming device, so obviously this doesn't have all these crazy hardware internals, it doesn't have massive fans to cool it down and all that. But the Steam Deck is probably too bulky, and to be honest, playing the claw method on the Steam Deck really hurts my hands, and because of how heavy it is, because you see the way your finger rests here, the weight of the Steam Deck pushes this finger down a lot. So when I'm playing like that on the Steam Deck, it's too heavy, but with this, it just... and to be honest, I don't actually think there's much difference in the weight of this compared to the Steam Deck. I think it could only be 100 grams in the difference, but it must just be the way that the weight is shifted, since all of the weight is here. You're right. Actually holding them both right now, you're right. It actually is not as big of a difference as I thought. Like, it's obviously heavier, but the difference is less than I thought it was. Because, like, the Switch, I think, is 250 grams or something. And I think this is, say, like, 500 and something. And then the Steam Deck is, like, 600 and something. So, like, there's a big difference between the Switch and these two. But I think it's because there's no weight in the middle. It just feels way better balanced. It's funny, now holding the Switch, almost all of its weight is in the middle. I'm like learning things about weight right now, that when you hold them like this, you're almost fooled into thinking, this is lighter, isn't it? No. I think the Switch is like 300 grams. Oh man, this is like breaking my brain right now. That's interesting. All right. Oh my God. I know. This is brilliant podcasting, okay? But the Switch is approximately 0.71 pounds. Okay. I don't know what that is in grams. I'm so sorry. I don't know what grams are. Grams. There's 1,000 grams in a kilo. Oh, that really cleared it up for me, Adam. Thanks. Well, okay. And the PS Portal is not 2.6 pounds, is it? I find that hard to believe. No, there's no way. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. That's funny. We are professionals here. We don't have the science. We don't have the science. Googling things as we go along. Listen, it's not about the numbers. It's about the experience. Yes. Okay? And that's what any PlayStation Portal discussion is going to be about, the experience. All right? And it's funny, I have not had the experience of having... I've been waiting for this thing's connection to dip on me while I've been playing it. I guess my internet is really good, because the degree to which I have not had problems in my home, shocking. Like truly, I have been blown away by how, like, so my PlayStation 5 is like upstairs in my house right now, connected. It's connected via an like Ethernet port, which I'm sure helps it in its sending out the connection, but obviously you can't do that here, so you've got to have some Wi-Fi prowess on your end. And I think I've just been consistently surprised at how, like, even when you're on the menus are such a good test for any remote play device, because, you know, they're supposed to feel snappy. I think just like pressing the button and going left to right, you go, oh, this works. And I want to give hats off to the LCD screen on the PlayStation Portal too. I think a lot of people went into this being like, oh, it's not an OLED, and that means it's bad. This, and listen, I'm not a scientist, once again. I'm talking about the experience. I could almost be fooled into thinking this was an OLED screen. I find it to be incredibly high quality. Yeah. Yep. You agree with me? Yeah. 100%. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a pony, as
Yeah,
people might
yeah.
say.
Pony up,
But-
pony up. Yeah.
Sony know how to make hardware. I have never ever once been disappointed by a piece of Sony hardware that I have ever had. I've had all the PlayStations, I've had all the PSPs, I've had the PS Vita, I've had Sony TVs, I've had Sony headphones. I love Sony. You know the way people are like Apple stands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me for Sony. I even use, now this isn't a Sony phone, this is a Pixel, but I use Sony phones for as long as I can remember. They don't even sell them over here anymore, but I love Sony hardware. They've never done me wrong. And the screen on this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, streaming the PlayStation to the Steam Deck was like, it did the job. It did the job. But you could notice that the Steam Deck screen isn't great. That is probably one of the biggest drawbacks of the Steam Deck. Obviously now upgraded with the Steam Deck OLED, but the original model, the screen isn't great. But when you stream the PlayStation 5 to this bad boy, you're like, oh my god, this is absolutely fantastic. And when you see when it's running at its best and there's no artifacting and your connection is really good, because we definitely do have slightly different experiences where my internet isn't as good as yours. Hopefully that'll be fixed in about a week of getting new internet. So cool. But my internet is still good enough to stream, but maybe not as good as yours. But when this is running at its best, and even when you're looking at the startup screen, you're like, oh, this is a screen. Now, in saying that, I know we're talking about the screen. The biggest drawback of this device are the speakers.
Interesting.
The speakers on these, I've never appreciated how good the speakers were on the Steam Deck until now.
Okay, wait. Let me do a live speakers demo for the audience. Okay, you ready for this? Live speakers demo. Can they hear it, or is it noise suppressing?
No, I think it might be suppressing.
Are you
I
kidding
think
me?
so. Yeah.
Oh my god! See, and it's funny because if I talk during it, you start to hear it in the background.
Just do some ASMR. Just start whispering.
We just listen, everybody. We just got to keep that sound from suppressing. You know, you get your little. That's nice, baby. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That's the part. That's gonna be the most replayed part of the video.
Yeah.
But yeah. The one word I would use. I'm no audiophile, but I can hear bad and good audio, but I'm not like an audiophile. The one word I would use is tinny. It's just
tinny. Okay.
Tinny. Yeah.
Yeah.
As in
Now, do you find that it is partially the speakers and partially the streaming of the audio, or if you plug headphones in, is it fine?
Yeah, fine. If I plug, I use these Sennheiser headphones. Another very minor. Now this is very minor. If you can see here, can you see how thick my audio, my 3.5?
Yeah.
It just about fits. Like so. Let me see. So.
Oh, that's funny, Adam. I hear what you're saying.
So you can see here is the audio jack. So there's a bit of plastic here.
Yeah.
And it just about fits. Now this is a very specific issue. Obviously,
sure.
I could just buy a different cable, but this cable has lasted me 2.5 years, and it's very high quality. So that's just something to consider if you have a thick cable. But that's just a very minor thing.
No. I hear you. That's because that could definitely affect somebody, because you're right. You only do have a little bit of room there.
Yeah.
But even listen, I know it was for the audio demo, but even just like looking at this clip again on Ye Old Portal, I don't know if it comes through. I don't know if people can really like tell how. Maybe this is too bright of an image, but like, man, it's popping.
Oh,
it is popping.
It does. It looks great. Like I was playing Dredge. Do you know that game?
Yeah.
I was playing that game. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm playing that on the Portal with the colors. The colors, like, it's like it's as, I think it's as close to an OLED without being an OLED.
Man, okay. So in terms of criticisms, you're saying the speakers a little tinny. Of course, the only audio solution is plugging in a what do we call that? Aux port.
3.5 millimeter jack.
There you go. Okay. And that's it. And you of course do not have Bluetooth audio, which every review has complained about. Would you like to complain about the lack of Bluetooth audio?
No. Can let me just explain here, okay?
Yeah,
now,
please.
As I
GameXplain, if you
I'm no audiophile. So somebody could come into the comments and just slap me around and say, you are wrong, you're just spouting absolute crap. I could be. But anytime I have 3 pair of Bluetooth earbuds here. I have Google Pixel, I think these are the A series. And then I have Sony's that Sony have a weird string of letters at the end of it, so I don't know the name of it. Sony blah 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 XMB 700s or something like that.
Okay.
And then I have Sennheisers, true wireless earbuds. Every single one of them I have used with the Switch and the Steam Deck and my PC, and now it could be the earbuds, but anytime you play games with them, the latency is unusable on the Bluetooth. It always is, and yeah. So imagine streaming a game to a device, and then the audio, which already has latency on it from the streaming, going into Bluetooth headphones that even on a native device have latency.
Adam, I'm 100% with you. I find it to be hilarious that we are demanding Bluetooth audio on this device because two things. One, why do you want Sony to give you a bad experience? That is my first thing. That is because you're going to use it, and then all the reviews will just be, instead of, why isn't there Bluetooth audio? The Bluetooth audio is bad. Great trade. And then the second thing is that I think there is a chance that having another wireless connection thing is bad for the streaming of the device. You know what I mean? Why put another wireless connection out in the air that it has to now... again, not a scientist, but like to me that makes sense. And I don't know. It's like, I also just think it's not that big of a deal. And maybe that's me being crazy, but just like, man, if you want to use your headphones, just like plug them in, dude. I feel like it wasn't that long ago that we're like demanding that things have an aux port, and then we're demanding that things support Bluetooth audio, and I don't know. So it's not. I agree with you. It's not that big of a deal for me. I don't mind too much. So Sony, if you're looking for one review that does not complain about having Bluetooth audio, you found it. Congratulations. Okay. What games have you been playing on this?
Well, the list is very long. So the one I played the most, I want to play the Yakuza series. So I bought Yakuza 1, or Kiwami 1, and that's the one I've been playing the most. And that's like an action game, but it's not like, it's not Dark Souls or Lies of P where you're pulling off intricate parries and all that. So that one worked absolutely perfectly. One thing though, I paid €20 for the game, and then 2 days later it went down to €6. But
that was on you, Adam. That game goes on sale every 2 weeks. That was on you.
No, but I've been looking at it for like the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it hasn't gone on sale. So I was like, oh, it won't go on sale. Okay, well that's beside the point. And then I was also playing a bit of Dredge, which absolutely fantastic. I don't think anybody would, but if you've ever been on my channel, you will know that when it comes to water-based horror, I'm done. That's me just gone. Can't do a Subnautica. It's the scariest game ever made, and I'll die on that hill. And that game
is the idea of the hash-slinging slasher that just terrifying?
Terrifies me.
Okay, all right, just making sure.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying. But yeah, I played a bit of Dredge, which was fine because that's a slow-paced game. Now, I wanted to put this through the ringer. Yeah. And I recently was playing Modern Warfare 3.
Oh.
So, I had mixed experiences, mixed results with that, because a couple of times, I'd say about 60% of the time it was playable, but I had to adjust how I play. I had to adjust how I play the game. So when I play Call of Duty, I run around like a madman with an SMG, and I'm sliding, and I'm jumping, and I'm spinning, and I'm shooting everybody. But because there is still that latency when everything was working perfectly, I kind of had to adjust my play style. So I then, I chose to use an assault rifle. I chose to sort of pick a spot, kind of, hold this area of the map and kind of hide behind corners and wait for people to come to me. But I could still get kills. Now, I'm still awful at the game, but I was slightly more awful than I would be normally, but it was still playable and still fun. Obviously, wouldn't be a competitive experience, but as a casual multiplayer experience, you can still get away with it. And then playing a bit of zombies on it where it's not as intense. Sure. And, you don't have actual people running at you. Still works pretty well. What other games did I play? Apologies. I have like 40 other games, but I can't remember any of them.
Let me tell you why I ask.
Yes.
So my thing is that I'm wondering because for me, I was hoping that the portal would open me up to titles that I was less willing to play when I was at my TV. And in my experience, it has done that. And I'm wondering if, are there titles that you are like, I'm kind of saving this for the portal?
Dredge was one of them.
Yeah.
I streamed that my first play session, and then I was like, oh, I'll leave this for the Portal. There's also another game that I'm reviewing that I can't talk about, but I've been playing that, and that was another game that I've had a code for like 10, 15 days now, but the embargo is until later this month, so I was like, I'll wait until I get the Portal because that'll be perfect for it. I was playing, excuse me, I was playing a bit of SteamWorld Dig 2, which is a 2D platformer. It's not like an intensive 2D platform, but that game perfectly fine on it. I think it's going to be sort of what I used my Switch for when it came out, was that this is going to be sort of my indie machine. Like, I still think, like, let me think of a big game. Like, think when Final Fantasy VII Part 2 comes out next year. I don't think I'll be playing that on the Portal.
Yeah.
Because I want to put on a set of headphones, sit down in front of my TV or my monitor, get the proper full experience, maybe 120 hertz if that's even possible with that game. But for the smaller games or the indie games or even the games that I want to go back through or older games, specifically like Yakuza, that's what my Portal's going to be used for.
Cool. Yeah, it's interesting. I found myself being like, whenever I sit down at my TV, like right now I'm really on a huge like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 kick, and I immediately go online because that's all I want to do. But like on my Portal, now there's like a trophy you get for beating arcade mode with every fighter, and I'm like, oh dude, heck yeah. Sarah's watching TV sitting right next to me, pick out the Portal, knock out a couple arcade modes, try to work towards that trophy. Fantastic time. I've been playing Cyberpunk, which I guess is a weird one, but I never played it before, so I just started it up, and I've got like the Phantom Liberty thing and everything. Having a pretty good time there. Moves a little slow for me, like sometimes I'm on the Portal and I'm like, God, I'm still talking to people. I just want to, I don't know, shoot or something, but you know. But then there's some games that it's like, I re-downloaded a Lego game and was like, I feel like I'm just gonna love this on Portal. You know, it's something like that. It's almost like, let me paint this picture for you. Games I wish I could play on the Switch at PS5 performance.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing on the Portal.
Yep.
You know, or games where I simply want the trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and as far as that goes, it works for me better than I expected it to. So I'm actually really enjoying this, and again, I just want to state that it really does feel like a PS5 experience, and I like that I just have this going forward. I like that this is like a part of my PS5 ecosystem now, and I think this is what Sony wanted to do. It will encourage me to get games on their platform that I previously maybe would not have. Like, I already played Octopath 2 on Switch, but if I had this, I would have gotten it on PS5. I would have done it. You know what I mean? Get those trophies. Get the, yeah.
Well, that's exactly because I wanted to play the Yakuza series, and I'm pretty sure Yakuza's on PC as well.
Yeah.
And I was kind of,
call. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of in between where I was like, I'm not a trophy hunter, but I still like to have trophies. Like,
yeah.
You know, Sony have me locked in there with, I just even like to see them pop and stuff. And I was like, do I buy them on Steam where, I mean, they probably will run on the Steam Deck pretty well and I can play them natively? Or do I wait until the Portal comes out and then I can get the trophies? And then also I have the option of playing it on my TV or at my desk.
Right.
But also I can stream it to my Portal, which I think is perfect for them sort of big RPGs. And then another thing, just as you said there, like sort of trophy hunting and games that I wish I could play on my Switch, is that I wanted to play a Far Cry game because the new Avatar game's coming out, and I know that's made by I know that's made by Massive and not a Ubisoft team or a Ubisoft name team. But that Far Cry Primal kind of looks like what I think Avatar will be to some extent. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. And I played like 2 or 3 hours of it so far, and I'm having a great time. And it's just perfect because I'd be like, I would love to play that game on my Switch, but I can't.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's funny, I didn't think about this, but now that you mention it, I feel like it's the Portal is not so much my Switch killer as it is my Steam Deck killer. Now that you say that, I'm like, oh dang, dude, when am I ever gonna be like, oh, Steam Deck, perfect, instead of just getting it on in the PlayStation ecosystem and playing it on my Portal. I don't have it on PlayStation, but you know what I really want to try on this thing? Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah.
That seems like a winner. That seems
perfect,
like Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So I think we're both really enthusiastic about the Portal. Yeah, it's a $200 price point, right? Is that US dollars? I don't know.
Yeah, it's $199 in the US, and
Okay.
then in Ireland. Actually, let me just go on a rant here. I
Yeah,
had to
go on.
drive 3 hours. Well, technically my fiance had to drive. But
Yeah.
we drove 3 hours to go up to Northern Ireland, which is technically in the UK,
Okay.
to buy this Portal because Sony decided to not send any to the whole Republic of Ireland, and I don't know why. Every retailer that it's on their website said, "Oh, I won't be getting stock till after Christmas." Why? So I had to drive. I had to go up north, buy it, drive home, and then I had to pay like I think it was an extra €20 or something.
What is it? What is up north?
Northern Ireland?
Oh, okay. So you're still in Ireland. All right. You didn't cross. a country line.
No. Well,
right.
we cross a border.
Okay.
But it's a whole political history.
All right, you have to.
lesson
Yeah,
there.
you got to explain it. We don't. The people don't know.
Okay,
you know?
okay,
But
so-
no. You don't have to actually explain it. But I understand. Yeah, very weird. This thing has definitely had like a bit of a soft launch. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how many units they made. It's one of those things that I think like the PlayStation ecosystem is strong enough right now that you can put out a niche device like this, sell as many as you need to break even, maybe even make a little bit of a profit, and you probably get a lot of extra sales in games from what I was saying about like, oh, now it's an option to, stay attached to that ecosystem, especially when you have a lot of other remote play solutions out there. Why not have your own? And something that's kind of funny is I have like an app for my internet service, and it tells you like all the devices that are connected to your internet, and it just knows how to like tell what they are. So like my PS5 says like Sony PlayStation 5, and my Switch says Nintendo Switch. I don't know how it does that. It just knows. And I thought something that was funny here is that this connects, and it says it's a Sony Xperia device, and I was like, that's kind of funny. I bet they did do a lot of talking to each other. I bet you this is a similar kind of internal Sony thing that they got together with like the phone people or whatever. So yeah, I mean I think they've already got this working on other devices. Might as well have your own. I don't think $200 is crazy for it, to be honest with you. I think if it was $150, I might be telling everybody to get one. But at like if your internet could do it. But at 200, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not angry about it. But it's whatever. Because it just based on the price of a controller alone. It's like, you know what I mean? A controller and a
€80 for a controller.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, controller and a monitor. It's like, how much is a DualSense Edge? It's like maybe a little more expensive than a DualSense Edge.
No,
And
I actually think this is cheaper than a DualSense Edge.
Don't say that.
No, I
That
think it
can't
is.
be right.
I think the Edge is like 200. No, I think they're actually the exact same price. I think the Edge is like
Okay.
€230 or so.
See, that's interesting to me. So yeah, I don't know.
Now, obviously, I'm only going off the superior euro currency. But
now,
yeah,
Adam,
in Ireland
yeah.
right now, DualSense Edge is €240, so it's technically €10 more expensive.
that's interesting.
That is
like to
very
know.
interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that shakes out. But there's one last thing I want to do before we wrap up this video.
Show the portal.
I'm showing the portal. I'm gonna unlock it. Gonna press that little PlayStation button on the front. There's the portal. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, Adam, is this is a surprise for anybody that made it to the end of the video. Okay. We are going to do a special live demo, a little treat, if you will. So right now, my PlayStation Portal is, of course, synced to my PlayStation 5 upstairs. But my login is, of course, also on my brother's PS5, who lives across the city. As you can see, I can choose which PlayStation 5 I want to log into. I can choose to log into my brother's PlayStation 5. I will be doing that now. For the first time ever, we are going to see if I can connect from across the city to my brother's PlayStation 5. Okay, there he goes. The portal is thinking about it. It is communicating over the internet. It is turning on my brother. My brother is, maybe he's sitting at home. I don't know. He's an attorney. What does he do all day? I don't know.
Maybe he's playing his PlayStation.
Maybe he's playing it. I'm about to hijack his gaming experience. So right now, it's like sending over the internet to like wake it up from rest mode. And it's like, okay, PlayStation 5, you got to wake up. We're about to do some remote playing. So that's the signal that I guess is being sent right now. And it's, okay, connecting to Jesse's PlayStation 5. Oh, man, this is taking longer than I thought. It doesn't take this long when it's at my house.
A few minutes later.
All right. I don't know if I can be heard.
You
But
can.
this is
You
it.
can.
Oh, nice. Okay, excellent. Okay. This is our live. I'm playing a PlayStation 5 across the city. All right, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. I gotta tell you, I feel pretty good about this. Oh my god. Oh my god, Adam, are you seeing this?
I am.
This is beautiful.
You're straying away from the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
I have to focus on the game.
Yeah, no, that happens when you try to record handheld stuff. There you go. You beat Patrick. That's all the endorsement you need.
No, yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah, so I don't know. It's the screen is nice. Focus in on SpongeBob. Come on, focus in. Hold on. No, it's not gonna happen. All right, but yeah. So this is like it's totally playable. Like I could do this. I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Well, there is Jake's endorsement of PlayStation Portal. And as for my endorsement, I also highly recommend this thing. If you are looking for that sort of a device, if you want to stream, because for me and for many of us, you know, we sit down at desks all day, we're looking at our monitors, and my PlayStation is only plugged into my monitor. And sometimes just want to lie in bed after sitting at my desk all day. And that's what my Steam Deck was for, but the Steam Deck screen is terrible. But the PlayStation Portal has a brilliant screen, it has a brilliant controller, and I think at the $200 or 230-ish euro price point, I think it's probably the best you're gonna get for that sort of price point, because I know the Logitech G Cloud, I know that can stream lots of things, but the Logitech G Cloud I think is, I know it's 350 euro over here. I don't know what it is in the US, but you know, the Logitech G Cloud is significantly more expensive and also doesn't have a DualSense. I mean, I don't really think, apart from the PS4 controller, no other controller can compete with the DualSense in my eyes. So, there's my endorsement.
Yeah, listen, dedicated handheld device. You don't have to be wasting battery on your phone if you want to do remote play. If that's something you are interested in, then I think for that purpose, it does a great job. It is exactly what it says it is, and you just got to make sure that your internet can handle it. And if you can, great experience. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good, right?
Yep.
Great.
Oh, I also just wanted to. So, I only turns out, which was a mistake on my internet service provider, I only have 100 meg broadband in my house right now.
Yeah.
Which, you know, isn't, I don't know, that's very slow over here. Like, we could get upwards of a gig plus.
Yeah.
So I will have a gig soon, but like I'm running off 100 meg broadband and I get 80 down, 20 up consistently. And I can stream it very successfully. So,
yeah. Yeah, so you don't have to have blazing, yeah, exactly, it is. Yeah,
now,
so definitely
mileage will vary depending on your house. Your walls might be thicker, or you know, that's the problem with these sorts of devices, is that a lot of it is just sort of, unfortunately, you won't really know until it's in your hands. But you can always test it out on your phone or on a laptop or some device that will have the PS Play app or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, so test it out on your phone. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for indulging in that live demo. And that's what you get. If you stick around to the end, that's what you have earned. Again, any questions below for the PlayStation Portal. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.